This is Roger Struckoff with Syscon TV. We are at CloudEXPO and the DevOpsSummit in Santa Clara in the heart of Silicon Valley in the year 2015. And we are joined right now by Gordon Brown with G2G3, and we're going to talk DevOps. Now, the whole thing about DevOps, you see in our DevOps Summit, we have cleverly developed two tracks, Dev and Ops. Right. And we talk about some of the operational challenges and some of the development challenges. But what we'd like to talk about tonight is sort of the cultural challenges, because I think if you don't address those, you're not going to do DevOps.
Right, exactly. You know, the thing with the cultural change is everyone loves change, but they want everybody else to go first, right? And so with DevOps, with the development side and the operations side, typically they've worked in these vertical cylinders of excellence, right, to which some people call silos. Mm-hmm. And so what G2G3 does is we bring that together. So we get people engaged, we get people prepared for readiness, and we help them with the adoption process.
I grew up in farm country, so I think of silos as full of corn, so I like the cylinders better. But my impression, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the developers are a little more enthusiastic about this than the ops side.
Right, they are, because the developers typically are working with new technologies and they're developing new state-of-the-art systems and solutions and services for their company and their customers and their market. And the operations guys are very focused on making sure that the infrastructure is very stable and stabilized. And so when the developers will go to them with a new solution, new services for their company and their customers, then a lot of times that poses a problem for the operations team because they're not ready. The infrastructure is not ready.
Well, this is the thing. The developers can hash out, so to speak, a problem and take all their sweet time if they want. But operations, it's like it keeps on going. It seems like there's just a whole different mindset required to excel within each of those respective cylinders.
Right, that is true. So like I said, I mean, the operations guy's job is really to keep the lights on, and so the developers are racing to go forward. Now, that's not to say that the operation guys aren't rolling in new technologies as well, but again, their prime job is to keep the infrastructure stable, and obviously the development guys and the R&D guys, their job is to come up with new solutions and services for their company and their customers.
So how does G2G3 go about this business of affecting cultural change?
So as I said earlier, we're all about helping companies with readiness, enablement, and adoption. And we have a set of simulations, which are a sophisticated piece of software that allows people to be immersed into a synthetic environment, and they're able to basically play corporation, if you will. It's every bit as sophisticated as an airplane simulator. It is combat ready, if you will.
So they're not playing around. When you're doing these things, they're experiencing a taste of the real world, and issues emerge, and you can address them at that point?
Yeah, yes, and our simulations are typically played over 3 to 4 rounds, somewhere between 4 to 6 hours, and at the back end of each round of each simulation, we produce scorecards. So they see how well they did from a maturity standpoint, from delivering the software, how well they did at P&L. So it actually produces those P&Ls and the different scorecards.
I mean, is there sort of pushback at that point, and if so, how do you address that?
Well, there's not really pushback because obviously the software that's running the simulation, running the game, if you will, it doesn't lie to you. So it's like an airplane simulator. If you crash, you crash. If you're not using the instrumentation properly, then you're not using the instrumentation properly.
How do you get involved with the customers, and what size, what types of customers do you have?
Our customers are a very diverse set of customers. We have several hundred partners that resell our simulations to their customer base, and then we have very large corporations, anywhere from the high Fortune 50, the top 8 technology providers in the U.S. on this planet, in the globe, use our simulations, and then again, most of the Fortune 50 companies use our sims.
How do people find you online?
A lot of times people find us word of mouth, and then they go out and start doing searches online, and or people are looking for experiential learning. Since DevOps concept is relatively new, not really, but relatively new. People are out searching for DevOps training, experiential learnings, DevOps boot camps, if you will, those kinds of things, and then they run across us online that way.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things when you become proficient at this, and you've been doing it a long time, it's not new to you, but you're finding people to whom it's new all the time.
Right. Yeah, we do find people that are new all the time, and it is pretty interesting. People are obviously internet enlightened, if you will, but there are always an executive that says to one of his executive friends, we have this challenge, and he'll say, go look up this company, and then that's how we find it. People find us.
There you have it, G2G3. We've been joined by Gordon Brown of that company, talking about DevOps and the cultural changes. And this is serious stuff. You're talking about simulations that really are showing you what it's going to be like, serious issues and how to address them. Gordon, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.